Hello, everybody. Right, okay. I suppose everything that you're going to actually hear today is our personal experience, and I hope that you get a lot out of it. Um, uh, so, OJ and I, we live in Hertfordshire. I work in London, but we've lived in Hertfordshire for about 21 years. OJ has been in Hertfordshire for 9. Um, so, so we got married in July 2000, and we want to actually let you know about the difficulties, about the support that we've actually received purely because we're married. So it's about supporting me to be me. We are both we're here to talk about our experiences of support, what is important in good support, what has gone wrong without support or with bad support, what support has worked, what we might do if we had good support, and then we've got a little role play for you afterwards. Right, so I started in the self-advocacy movement in 1994, and I helped set up Power, the advocacy agency. In those days it was known as People of Hearts Want Equal Rights. And we had a support group. There were only 4 people with learning difficulties on the actual board. And so we had difficulty actually reading notes, agendas. And so there was a support to the board that actually helped us read and prepare for meetings. At home, I lived in a bungalow, and it was attached to a supported housing scheme. And when OJ moved in, that's when the problems started. Purely because the floating support was attached to my needs. We had 2 hours support, and that was to do with jobs, to do with managing money, problems and things like that. And a lot of the problems, because we lived in a bungalow, but it had asbestos dust in it.
Oh, crikey.
So OJ was talking to our floating support about needing things in the bathroom, and rails, things like that, weren't you?
Yeah, and Roger. Access.
And so they were actually saying that, well, we can support you, Andrew, but we can't actually support OJ. We were saying, hang on a minute, we're married. And so when they realised that there was nothing that could be done because of the asbestos, we had a week to move out.
Gee whiz.
We weren't actually, and that kind of was quite a challenge, because although we have lots of family, the average travel time to get to us is 2.5 hours by car for any of our family members. And so that caused a bit of a problem. People First was very, very supportive, and were actually able to actually give us the actual time off to actually move. But we then actually had a support plan. We had to fill in a support plan. We were promised, don't worry, the support structure that you've actually got, there'll be a handover period between the floating support scheme and what was called the warden controlled system. And what happened?
Oh no, that's another problem.
The warden that handed this over, sort of, there was no carpets, nothing, and they said, well, you'll actually have to have something in.
They're just saying we're moved in.
So very well, we had to physically say that we'd moved in.
Mop and bucket and chairs. One chair.
And your hi-fi, and that
Yeah, a little one.
a little one.
Not a big one, a little one.
So, yeah. 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 So. Yeah. So. Yeah. So. Support that you've got, OJ, at home, because you had your own challenges at home, didn't you?
Yeah, I had support from home, from my family family members of my family.
But English is your second language, isn't it?
English is my second language.
So what we...
So I had to translate everything to my parents.
For them to actually support OJ with the problems. So what happened at college, OJ?
In college, I had one group support with college work. I was behind college work.
Okay, and with People First?
At People First, I had support on hand if I needed to.
And you did some training, didn't you?
And I'd done some training from Royal College of Nurses and Doctors.
Okay, so, and then there was the support at the partnership board, wasn't there?
Oh God. Oh God. On the partnership board,
12. It took you, you were there for 8 years, right?
I was on 8 years, but I had to fight for my own support to get support 1-to-1.
And how long did that take, OJ?
I had 6 years.
And how long were you on the partnership board?
8.
2 years.
So OJ had 2 years support. So, right, okay. Okay, so, and what support do you get at home?
warden control
Warden control.
support.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So, being believed and respected by professionals is really important to us, and we haven't been. And there are a lot of emotional scars because of that. Trusting in supporters. The only supporters that we can actually say that we have actually been able to trust are the supporters that we've actually had from People First Self-Advocacy in actually a very, very tough year. Both of us have epilepsy, and the epilepsy that OJ has is complex partial seizures. Being independent and 100 and looking for the best result for us, and getting support before we get into a crisis. Well, actually, we've actually been in crises, and it's been hard to actually get the support while we've actually been in a crisis. Where's your little alarm thingy? So this is a warden-controlled alarm thing. And usually when you have an epileptic seizure, you're supposed to actually press this little button here, and then the wardens know that you need their support. But both of us don't get any warning with our seizures, so we can't press that button. I came home from work one day, and OJ's on the sofa, and this was actually, I had a rope, and the rope was round her neck, and she was having an epileptic seizure. Now, what we got was a letter of apology, okay, but from that moment, we've not really been able to trust the warden-controlled system at all. Just pressing that little, do my best. Yeah. Okay, so, right, so health problems, the heating problems. Do you remember what happened with the heating?
Oh, God.
You got
One day I had someone came to look at our heating at the bathroom. That wasn't working. The man couldn't understand me. When I pressed this, man ran out.
of the house,
Ran out of the house.
like a bat out of hell or a rabbit.
Like, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do?
So then after that, we had a special tiling in our bathroom fitted, okay, non-slip, but they hadn't actually put it in properly. So when we actually had our first shower, thinking this is going to be really nice, okay, it flooded the actual bathroom, living room, hallway and bedroom. We called the wardens for actually help, and they said, it's not in our job description. So we had to call the council directly. And there was this guy with a great big Hoover suck machine that actually came up, and he was drying everything at midnight. Okay, so then we kind of moved. Then because of OJ's seizures, we asked for help. And they started to actually do a universal needs assessment. But we didn't know it was a universal needs assessment. To us, it was just a meeting with the social worker, a meeting with the epilepsy specialist, and all these professionals having individual meetings. We're wondering, well, the universal needs assessment, they don't prepare you for the support. And so we, in Hertfordshire, we were the first people with learning difficulties to actually have a universal needs assessment. So there we were actually asking for information in Easy Read. Hello.
Hello. Overnight, they had to write it down.
So each question that we actually had, okay, they actually were writing the Easy Read version as they went. And so when the big meeting came to actually happen, they said, "There's the Easy Read version. Start reading it." We're sort of saying, well, we don't. To us, it was just a meeting. And at that meeting, the social worker said, because I was working full-time then, in the event of an emergency, being 2.5 hours away is an acceptable risk. Where the People First office was at the time, it took me 2.5 hours to actually get home. Now, and they didn't actually prepare. They saw me as a carer. In Turkish culture, what does the carer word mean?
Nothing.
Doesn't exist.
Doesn't exist. I said to the social worker, please do not use the word carer. But they didn't listen.
And so, before the universal needs assessment, because we'd been in Hertfordshire for a long time, I had 100% confidence in the professional system to actually do the right thing. After the universal needs assessment, zero confidence. So next time we're in an emergency, we know that we can't trust the professionals in Hertfordshire. We know this because of our personal experience. And we've got a little role play, haven't we?
Sorry. And one thing, and I do not believe in social workers. Full stop.
So
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So yeah. So we've got a little role play for you now. OJ, that's the doorbell. It'll be the warden, I bet. Coming. Hello.
Hi. Do you need help?
I've got two big problems. Can you actually help us out?
Yeah, sure.
Right. I've got this tenancy agreement, and OJ and I can't read it. Can you actually help us to actually read it? Because it's jargon.
I know, but it's not in my job
Description.
Description.
But you're the only person that you're the only support that we actually have, and Power actually have got a 3-month waiting list for us to get help to read this.
Go to the citizen advice beer.
But they actually, but we actually tried that, and they say that they don't actually provide support for people with learning difficulties.
Sorry, Andrew. I got to take this phone call.
But I needed
Hello?
help with the business plan.
Hello? 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 Yeah, John.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.